Hi everyone, I'm Mickey from Hike and RV, and Gordon isn't going to be with me in this section of the video, but don't worry, you will be able to see him a little bit later on. And right now we are still under travel restrictions here in BC. Our COVID numbers are still pretty high, so we're probably going to be in this situation for the next few weeks or so. So in the meantime, I thought I might take this opportunity to share with you some of our easy go-to camp meals. And later on in this video, we'll show you some clips from a paddle that Gordon did with Wang, who is a good friend and a fellow YouTuber. And they went out to a nice area locally, so we thought we'd share that with you as well. So hope you enjoyed this video. So if you've watched our videos before, you know that I am vegan, plant-based, and Gordon is mostly a pescatarian, though sometimes he does cheat a little bit on that. And so I thought it might be a good opportunity to share some of our meals with you for people who might be curious about eating a vegetarian, sort of plant-based kind of diet. Now, I'm not a gourmet chef by any means, any stretch of the imagination. Just by the nature of our travel, we actually like to spend a lot of time outdoors, as many of you know, and we want to spend more time hiking or walking around or exploring our area. The meals that I will mention today will be very simple and easy and lazy. So let's get started. So first of all, breakfast. Our simplest breakfast, we basically make up some plant-based bacon or plant-based sausage. You can find anywhere pretty much in any grocery store nowadays. We do like the brand Eve's, or the other one is Light Life. I'm not sure if you guys have those brands in the US. They actually taste almost like the real thing. They don't really look like the real thing, but they do taste like the real thing. And I usually just have toast with it, and sometimes Gordon might have scrambled eggs or a fried egg. So the other favorite of ours is pancakes. One time we were at one of the BC recreation sites and we passed by a campsite of a young couple and they were making pancakes and it smelled so good. So it is a real treat. Vegan pancakes are really easy to make. I found a really great recipe on Tasty website and it's called Fluffy Vegan Pancakes. I'll link in the description below. It's a great recipe if you guys want to try it out. So lunches for us are mostly, we're on the go. So either we're en route somewhere in the van, we're traveling, we might be out hiking and we eat lunch during our hike. If we are in the van and we're driving and we stop somewhere and we get an opportunity to cook something, then we'll just stop at a rest stop or by the side of the road and we'll turn on our propane tanks, because we always turn off propane tanks when we're driving. So we'll turn on the propane tanks and we might cook something up. One of the things that we really enjoyed when we were in Canada's Glacier National Park is we made some instant yakisoba, which is really easy because all you have to do is add water to the noodles and then put the soup packet in and you're good to go. I often like to add some extra vegetables, maybe some cabbage or some red peppers to add some color and some nutrition. So when we're hiking, we like to take simple things, and I think our go-to hiking lunch would be just cutting up a bunch of vegetables and maybe bringing some hummus so you can dip the vegetables in the hummus. We do make sandwiches sometimes, but we tend not to like to eat bread very much when we're hiking because, you know, we've been sweating, we're exerting ourselves, and your appetite's kind of suppressed and you're always sort of craving something that has more moisture in it, and obviously bread is very dry. When we do make sandwiches, we might add lots of vegetables or even make a peanut butter and jam sandwich as well. So we tend to just carry, you know, vegetables and fruits and nuts and power bars, that kind of thing. Occasionally, I might even make some vegetarian sushi or Japanese onigiri, which is like rice balls with seaweed wrapped around it. And that's kind of nice as well. One time we were at Yoho National Park when we were hiking. I actually packed us some cut up vegan ham and vegan cheese and made little cracker sandwiches with them, and that was actually quite tasty as well. So for dinner, the quickest and easiest dinner for us is, especially at those times when we've had a long drive during the day or gone for a long hike and we're tired, we're rolling into camp really late, what we like to do is open a can of soup, split pea soup or lentil soup, which has good protein in it, and some nice fresh bread or crackers, cheese and olives, and that makes a really satisfying and nice meal. One of our favorites is just make hamburgers. We always bring the Beyond Meat patties, and they're really great. They taste pretty much like meat, and you can fry it in a frying pan or cook it up on a grill. They're fast and easy, and you can make it with a salad, and it makes a pretty satisfying meal. Another favorite of ours is if we have started a campfire, is to cook up some foil wrap dinners. It's great because you don't have to dirty any pots and pans, and you just take 2 sheets of aluminum foil and throw sliced potatoes and all kinds of different vegetables, whatever you have on hand. You could put a piece of fish on it, or in my case I might put a vegan sausage or something like that. Just toss in a whole bunch of spices. It doesn't matter what you have. My go-to favorite spices are Old Bay seasoning, which is nice for seafood particularly, but I like to also sprinkle that on some tofu slices as well. Garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, and salt and pepper. Paprika is another one that I use quite a bit. And with all of those flavors, be very generous. You can squeeze some lemon on it and wrap it together and put it in the fire. Preferably coals, not like a fire going strong, but just when it's sort of starting to die down. And you can leave that in there for about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how hot your flame is. And then you're good to go, and it's such a great meal, and it's so fun to eat when you're outside. The other thing I like to do quite often is to make a Mexican rice bowl. Steam up some rice, ensure that I have some lime and cilantro to add that nice Mexican flavor. Cut up some avocado, cut up some tomatoes, make a nice salsa, or even bring some jarred salsa with you. Make a side salad, and then take some black beans and saute it with onions and peppers and whatever vegetables you have on hand, with some nice chili seasonings, and then you can just arrange all of that on a plate, and it's a really great meal to have as well. With the Mexican rice bowl, you can also turn it into tacos as well, which is nice. So if you don't want to have the rice, you can make tacos or even burritos. Other go-to meal that I like to make is the one-pot pasta, and there's so many different ways to do it. Easiest one is there is a packaged product called Tuberno, which already has the measured out pasta with lots of seasonings in it, and all you have to do is put it in a pot with some water, and it just cooks up by itself in about 10-12 minutes. And with that, I like to add some fresh vegetables and maybe some kind of protein source like chickpeas or lentils or even veggie ground. It makes a super hearty meal. And the other one-pot pasta recipe that I really enjoy is the one from Martha Stewart, and I will link her recipe below in the description. And the nice thing about that one is you put together your dried pasta with some grape or cherry tomatoes and basil, and just cook it all up in one pot. It absorbs all the water. And the reason why I like that is because I don't like gray water. I don't like to have to make a whole pot full of water and cook the pasta and then have to deal with that gray water. It fills up the gray tank fast. Also, if you're winterized, you don't know what to do with it. So it's nice to be able to just let the pasta absorb the water, kind of like rice, and you don't have to deal with gray water, so which is great. So that's another one that I really enjoy making. And if you have, dried pasta and you have some vegetables, you can do the same thing really. Use less water than you would usually use to make pasta, and just let the pasta absorb it. And then you can add your sauces or your vegetables, your protein source, and you're good to go, and some seasoning, of course. So as you can tell, I really like the one pot methods because you don't want to have to deal with multiple pots and pans when you're cooking at camp. You just want to stick to the one pot and just be able to make everything, and I find that's the easiest thing to do. There are also some nice hot dogs and sausages that are vegan available in the supermarkets. The Eve's brand has a lot of nice veggie hot dogs, And also there are nice sausages made by a variety of different brands. And some of them are better than others, but they're all great alternative to meat and keeps all in the fridge for quite a long time. So that's the nice thing about using vegetarian food, because if you bring raw meat with you, then you have only a certain amount of time to use it. And if you're going on a very long trip, and if you're not going to be close to any area where there are supermarkets and amenities, then at least you can stock up on a whole bunch of vegetarian mock meats, and you're ready to go, and you can make it last for a very long time. And also with vegetarian protein sources like canned beans and chickpeas, you can have a lot of that on hand, and you don't have to worry about things going bad. So that's about it for our go-to camp meals. I hope you found some of those useful. I know they're common meals. My mom used to say that that's one of the hardest things about preparing meals, is knowing what to make. If somebody told you what to make, then it would make life a lot easier. So it's nice to have a bunch of ideas on hand so that you can be creative when you're at camp. So yeah, please share some of your go-to recipes with us. That would be great. So now, as promised, here is Gordon's paddle with Henry Wang in the Pitt Lake area of BC.
We're just going to paddle up this channel and then get into some of the open water that's probably on the left and to the direction of the lake. Timed our trip so that we're here at high tide because this area is tidal. And even then the water's not very deep here. So that last channel didn't go anywhere. So we'll go farther up here and then take a left somewhere. Okay, may have to get out to get past this little pile of branches. We'll see. Yes, definitely, we're stuck. So I don't think Henry trusted my route finding, but he's going to make it through. Shift your weight to the front a little bit more and then you'll take the back.
This is a good core workout. It was actually kind of funny because I saw you do the scooch, I guess, across that. But there's another path, like right there, and it petered out so much I didn't think that it was going to go through, and I don't think it does.
Yeah,
so.
There's my point. He doesn't trust my route finding.
I actually couldn't see this body from where I was. I thought you were turning around.
Never.
Sorry, bird.
This one also might be a bit of a tight squeeze. Henry's just filming right now. We've just done a loop around and looks like we're stuck around this little island, so we'll have to find another way out. Route finding. We look for open channels and hope it works out. This channel didn't take me anywhere. Go back and try the route that Henry's doing. Oh, and Henry's coming back. Not a good sign. Dead end. Fun. We seem to be running out of spots, or channels. I think we can work our way back here into some open water and then look for another alternative. Worst case scenario is we paddle up to one of the dikes, pack up the boats, and hike out. So we were just here a little while ago, lost in the marshes. Fortunately, I've got enough food for a week. So I doubt this will work, but Henry and I are separated in the marsh, so I'm FaceTiming him. I don't think there's enough signal here. Any luck?
There's a channel that takes us back to the bigger body of water on that side.
I think it's the same body of water because this thing just goes forever. No, I think we're lost. We're going to have to probably have to spend the night. And besides, we can fish, I'm sure. I run out of water.
It's like really skinny. It's like the width of the boat going through there. I mean, it's water, but...
I gave some thought to climbing that tree behind us, but I thought that was probably pushing the envelope, whereas I'm just going to run up on the dike and take a look. A body of water there. I just don't know if we can get to it on either side of this island without having to walk on the dirt. I'm tempted to try again on the left of that island, but it didn't look like it went through.
I don't know if you're able to put a couple of breaths in your boat.
That's what I'm going to do. I noticed it had gotten low. Just check all the valves, make sure they're tight. Okay, I don't know if we can get around there, but there's water just on the other side of that.
Well, like literally it's a little channel, the width of this boat, so...
Maybe we can get through it.
Yeah. It's like bumper cars.
I like the part best where I could just see your head above the grass the other way.
Oh, like literally like I'm wedged in this tiny little thing. I had nowhere to go.
You can see where we launched from just up ahead. Maybe like a 5-minute paddle. This is the base of that tower almost. There's a little beach. Beautiful, but kind of amusing to find your way around and through. Fun.
It's like a 3-hour paddle.
So we hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And Gordon and I will see you next time.